smaller in front. Hello, so I just came back from my favorite nursery in LA called Yamaguchi Nursery, and I just got a bunch of stuff. I am planning to revamp, remodel, rearrange my balcony setup because I think there could be more done, and I want to add flowers. I want to clean it up and be more intentional with where the plants are. Also, I'm looking down because Theo is sniffing this tree. There, stop it. Stop it. I was going to start working on the balcony today, but then my parents came over and brought a bunch of vegetables from their garden. But I thought I would show you guys some clips of how the balcony looked when I first set it up 8 months ago, and I made a video about it if you want to check it out. A lot has changed since then. Originally, the balcony was supposed to be a place for Chris and I to eat breakfast or lunch or dinner, but because the balcony is so narrow, it's kind of difficult for more than one person to be out there at a time. So over time, it's kind of just become a place to put plants. But right now, I feel like the plants that are out there aren't placed very intentionally, so I want to redecorate it and also make it a little bit more walkable because it feels cramped just with how things are currently arranged. I also just want to clean the balcony because I haven't been able to clean it very well because of all of the plants out there. I'm going to bring the large maple that I have back inside the house to repot because it's difficult to repot on the balcony, especially with larger things. I think I'm gonna remove all the plants from the balcony and then clean it. There's just a lot of dust and dirt that comes in and just sits on the balcony floor, so I will clean that and then I'll start to rearrange things and maybe do a different layout, but it might be the same. So this potting mat isn't really big enough to use for this tree, but we're gonna make it work and I'll just clean up the rest of the mess that I make. I will be using this pot, this very cute green pot, and I'm just gonna plant it directly in here. It's pretty much the same size as the pot it's currently in. The main reason why I'm repotting it is to put it in a nicer pot because this nursery pot is pretty old and cracked and it just doesn't look great. So yeah, putting it in this pot. When I repot it, I'm not gonna disturb the roots too much. I'm mostly just going to take it out and slightly loosen the roots, and then I will use this soil to fill in the rest of the pot that needs soil. This is Fox Farm Ocean Forest Mix. I've used a lot of this soil in the past. I've just found it to be like an all-around good soil. I don't know much about Japanese maples, but I'm sure this will be fine. Before I start potting, I'm gonna use this netting that I cut out into circles. I hate repotting big plants, but it must be done. Okay, gonna do this to the pot. Maybe it'll loosen the plant up. Whew. Okay, it's starting to come out. Oh. Okay, that looks pretty good. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Oh my god, ew. Now I'm gonna add my more attractive soil mix for the top so that way it'll look nicer. So this is like a mix of akadama, bark, lava rock, and soil. It just gives for a nicer appearance at the top of the soil. Now I'm gonna take it back outside to the balcony and give it a very good hose down on top. Okay. Okay, we can move. Don't go too high up though. OMG. Get the other one. Oh, okay, go down. Okay. Am I good? Yeah, you're good. Hey, Theo, stop. So I finished watering the maple tree and I'm gonna let it sit and drain for a little bit, but I have 2 more plants that I'm gonna repot that I picked up yesterday at the nursery. Very cute flower. I will be potting it in this blue pot because it matches well with the pink. I think that's pretty cute. Oops, I just broke a leaf, I think. Look at those roots. Let me know if you guys are planning to do anything for spring, whether indoor or outdoor, like any projects or possibly fun things you're gonna try this spring. I know a lot of people moved this year, so it's probably gonna be a lot of our first growing seasons in our new places. I'm excited for us, and I mean, even if you didn't move, I'm still excited for you. The start of spring is so nice because you have the entirety of spring, and then you have the summer to look forward to. This one looks pretty good. I really like the pink with the blue, and then the green is pretty nice with it as well. This is the next plant that I'm gonna repot. I got it because it's purple, and purple's Chris's favorite color, and I also got this purple pot because it's also Chris's favorite color, so. Whoa. Okay, look at those roots. Wow. Okay. What do you think you're doing, Theo? Get back here. Oh no, are you okay? Theo just hit his head on the camera. It's getting kind of windy and cloudy now, but that's okay. Right now, let's see, what do I want to do? I was going to try and like move all of my stuff and clean my balcony, but I don't know if I have the energy for that today. Also, I'm kind of like crouching down and hiding from my neighbors because they can see me when I record on my balcony. I just get kind of like self-conscious, I think, that people can see me recording and filming and speaking. So yeah, that's why I'm like crouched down right now. Speaking of my neighbors being able to see me on my balcony while I film, I put up a trellis to kind of obstruct the view into the balcony and into the room. I'm planning to have some type of vining plant climb up the trellis and kind of block the view. I really love this maple. I got it because it produces this nice shadow. It's for like dappled light, you know? So yeah, that's why I got that. An update, here's the balcony bench pond, and then here is the creeping fig that I have growing. I'll put it in a before picture so you guys can see what it looked like before. I just repotted into a much larger pot and gave it a lot of fertilizer, so I imagine that this will really take off soon. You can see how it's branched, it looks very cool. What's nice about this plant is that it doesn't seem to be damaging to walls. Like I ripped some off and it was totally fine. And I also see these growing all over Los Angeles, so I think I am okay. In my pond, I have some rice fish that you guys have probably seen before. I just recently cleared this out because it was getting really overgrown. I'm gonna change this. I don't know what I'm gonna change it to, but I'm gonna change that. And yeah, I hope that they breed this spring and summer. Would love to have more cute little fish in here. The sun is gonna set soon, so I'm gonna stop working on the balcony for now. Also, I forgot to mention it, but I have all these lights strung up. They're all from IKEA and they're solar powered lights, so I don't really have to turn them on or anything, and I'll put a clip in of them at night because it's really pretty and gives a very homey atmosphere. Here's Chris and Theo. Theo sleeping. Chris has been reading a lot lately. What book are you reading right now?
It's called Pure Nessie. I think that's how you say it.
He is actually making a YouTube channel soon. Woo! Called Chris's Library. It's gonna be about book stuff, so booktube. If you guys like books, make sure to check out his channel. I'll put a link to it in the description, I think. So yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to move all of the plants out of the balcony and then clean the floor, and then I'll arrange all the plants, and that way you guys can kind of see how I arrange the plants in like a thoughtful way, and I'll try and share my thought process. It's difficult for me to explain the way that I place things because I just put something somewhere that I think would look good, and then I take a step back, I look at it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, that does look good. But I'll try and put my thoughts into words for you guys. But yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, and I'll be doing a lot of cleaning, and Yeah. Okay. So I am currently editing the video and I accidentally deleted all of the footage from the next day where I cleaned the balcony and took out all of the plants from the balcony. Yeah, it was raining a lot that day and I got on my hands and knees and scrubbed the balcony with this tiny little brush. Then I also put up a reading lamp for Chris, right there. And then I also repot my Monstera Sierrana and my Fiddle Leaf Fig. I wish I still had that footage, but it's okay. Moving on to the next day. Today is the day that I'm finally going to arrange the plants on the balcony. So the first thing that I'm gonna put in is the table because I'll be arranging the plants around the table. Look how dirty it was. Ew. Ew. So right now, I'm not really sure where I want to put the table. This is where I had it originally, but that might be kind of boring since I already had it here, but this is a really good spot for it at the same time. Having it here would give me more walking space, like when I walk like this. If I were to have it like this, I guess it's kind of the same. I don't know. Maybe this way?
Like that way just because there's so much more room.
Yeah, I guess you do just like walk and then it's not like there's something right here. Yeah, Chris was like, you don't have to go like this. It's true. Let's go with this. I'm going to start with the biggest plant first, and the biggest plant on my balcony right now is the Japanese maple. Whew. Chris, can you help me move this thing? Trapped. So I think that looks pretty nice there. Oh, it's also super windy. Ooh, it's dancing. Next, I'm moving over my bonsai because it's pretty important where I place them. And smaller in front, and then this bigger one right here. Maybe I'll stagger them like this. So I have these 3 ferns that are just in separate nursery pots. I have this rectangular planter. If I put them together, I think they would look pretty good. It looks pretty nice. And then underneath the table, I'll repot those after I finish arranging the balcony, just so I don't get distracted. And then around them, maybe I'll place my bird's nest ferns. These also need protection from the sun. This plant was my first balcony plant, so I can't forget about this one. Maybe I can tuck it right here. Or maybe it would be better over here. I'm gonna find a place for this little moss thing that I made. It needs to be underneath the table, probably in a shaded area, because it's just moss. Perhaps right here? It's fun to do plant arranging and plant design because there's like another aspect to it other than it just looking good. You also have to make sure that the conditions are good for the plant. It's kind of like designing on hard mode, sort of. You need to understand the care requirements of your plant and then also the best placement aesthetically for the plant. So the ferns are underneath the table and this big maple, that way they get more dappled sunlight. Now I'm gonna place my little staghorn fern right here to sort of offset all the busyness that's going on the right side. So I don't know yet what I want to do with the nasturtium. Also ignore my dry knees. I'm going on my knees a lot here, so perhaps right here, maybe? Let me see. No, that doesn't look good. Maybe in this spot? I think I might actually just leave the nasturtium right here because I'm planning to have a creeping fig climb up this wall, and I'm probably gonna put it in a ugly nursery pot, so this can hide it. Looks pretty good so far in my opinion. Still a lot more plants to go. The next plant that I'm gonna put down is this philodendron white knight. I'm thinking of putting it behind the ferns, maybe? Let's see. I think that actually works surprisingly well. I'm going to remove some of these older leaves that have browned up. Also just to make it look less busy down here. I could put it right here maybe. I don't think it looks great with the orange right next to it. Maybe right here? I think it looks okay here, but I'll actually need this area for the climbing plant that I'm going to be putting on this privacy screen trellis. Maybe right here looks cute. I think that looks pretty nice. Look how the sun's hitting the flower right now. So pretty. I'm going to place some of my Deuteroconia brevifolia. They seem to like direct sun, which is pretty nice. So yeah, I'm going to put them on, I don't know what it's called, the ledge? Yeah, I'm going to put them on the ledge. Sorry, just now realized that I have no idea what to do with my string of pearls. Originally they were right here and then they draped down. Now that the bonsai is here, I can't really do that or else it'll look kind of messy. So as you can see, like, it can't really take direct sunlight very well. These are the pearls that didn't receive direct sunlight and they're looking really good. I don't know, like maybe I could put it here, but then the top is gonna get super burnt and look really ugly, but maybe that's fine. I'm gonna put the other one next to it and see what it looks like. Okay, that does look pretty nice actually. So maybe I'll just let the top get like super burnt and bald and then maybe I can grow something on top of it. Let's see. How's that? That's covering up my pretty pink flower. Maybe I'll move this one here. That looks pretty good. I love the flowers, they're so cute. Still got a couple plants to go, but yeah, I really like how it looks right now. And the fish pond definitely needs some work. I don't know if I'll do that today. Maybe I'll do that today. We'll see. I forgot I had this plant. I really want to put this somewhere where I can see it better. So yeah, I'm gonna move it over there. Also, I really love the colors and the flowers and stuff. I'm sure you guys can probably tell to some degree I am trying to create layers with my plants. And generally I try to go from low to high. So for example, when you're leaving my room and entering the balcony, you're able to see all of the plants. And yeah, I try to do different leaves together, different colors, different shapes to add some interest in the arrangement or the design. An instance where I broke that low to high rule would be with the nasturtium because it's blocking those ferns back there. But once I put a climbing plant up here on this wall, it'll look more even, I think. This is my spiral aloe. It's pretty large and I can't find a good place for it with sunlight. I'm actually going to put this in front of my apartment. Hopefully no one steals it. So in this area right here, these plants are making like a very sharp right angle, so I want to soften that. Here, let me get closer so you guys can see. It's just like so I want to soften that up. And I'm going to do that by placing in this little Clea peperomioides. And this one has been growing outside since like January, so yeah. I actually just came back from the brink of death recently. Do you see how that kind of softens that area up? And it also helps that the leaves are round too. Yeah, looking good, looking good. This black bucket is what I'm going to use to pot the climbing plant that's going to be right here. You can see that the nasturtium hides it pretty well. I'm not completely sure where I want to put my mini pond right now. I'm going to trim all of this back. It's just a little bit messy and it'll grow in just fine afterwards. If there's any plants or things that I showed earlier or you saw earlier that I didn't mention or show in this video right now, I found a different place for it, or I don't know exactly what I want to do with it yet, because I really like how this area feels a lot more open. It's just like a lot less cramped feeling. Now there's an actual walking path where I can easily access my plants. I'm almost done with that side of the balcony, but there's one more thing. I have a pink solar powered lantern that I want to hang up, but I'm just like barely too short to hang it up myself. And it's really cute. It's pink, and I got it mainly because Chris likes pink, but also just to add a little bit more color on the balcony. Isn't this thing so cute? So all of my lights that I have out there on my balcony are from IKEA. They're IKEA solar powered lights and they're pretty cheap. If you can't find the one that you want on the IKEA website, then they have most of them on eBay for a little bit markup, but it's not horrible. And they work really well and they're very cute. Thank you, sir. But yeah, it's pretty cute, right? Very cute. So here's how the balcony looks from this angle. Oh, look at Theo. Hello. Here's how the bottom area looks. And then here's the pond. Here is the creeping fig. I love how that looks. It really came together very nicely. I really like how the bonsai look now. It's a lot easier to see them and see their shapes and stuff. So pretty. I think this maple tree is just so beautiful. And then I do really like how my string of pearls looks here. We'll see how it does over time. And then here's the current angle from facing my side of the balcony to my roommate's side. I can't wait until I have plants climbing on these trellises because I think it'll really tie this whole thing together. So that's all I'm gonna do for the balcony in this video. I'll probably work on the pond in the future and then change stuff around. Just like I always end up changing stuff around. So I'll update you guys when I start like climbing the plants on the trellises or on the walls. And let me know if you guys want to see more of these plant design, plant decorating, plant arrangement type videos in the future because this was pretty fun to film. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.